Good afternoon, welcome to the show. I'm Leigh Perry, with you for the next 2 hours, here from Solihull Radio.
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
Solihull Radio.
Saturday morning, jumped out of bed and put on my best suit. Got in my car, raced like a jet, all the way to you. Knocked on your door with heart in my hand to ask you a question. Blessing to the day I die. Suffer love with my friend, but the answer is no. Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Why you gotta be so rude? I'm gonna marry you anyway. Marry that girl. Marry you anyway. Marry that girl. Yeah, no matter what you say. Marry that girl. And we'll be a family. Why you gotta be so I hate to do this, you leave no choice. Can't live without her. Love me or hate me, we will be boys. Standing at that altar. Or we will run away to another galaxy. say yes, cause I need to know. You say I'll never get your blessing till the day I die. Tough luck, my friend, but no still means no. Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Why you gotta be so rude? I'm gonna marry you anyway. Marry that girl. Marry you anyway. Marry that girl. No matter what you say. Marry that girl. And we'll be a family. Why you gotta be so Why you gotta be so Why you gotta be so rude?
Solihull Radio.
Welcome, welcome. You are listening to Solihull Radio. Thank you for joining me today. I'm live from Studio 148 here at Touchwood. My name is Leigh Perry, with you until 6 o'clock. Got a great busy show lined up this afternoon with guests coming up in just a few minutes. Singer, recording artist David Barnes, he's been on the show before, bass player, musician Robin Watson. They're going to be talking about music and their day jobs. Got some fabulous music as well lined up. We've got some Norah Jones, Robbie, UB40 and Status Quo. That's just to name a few. I'll be telling you how to get in touch with us in a few minutes. But first of all, this.
When you gonna give me some time, sure, my motor run, my motor run.
That was My Sharona by The Knack. You are listening to Solihull Radio. I'm Leigh Perry with you until 6 o'clock this evening. This is the Arts and Entertainment Show. Yeah, we've got a busy show this afternoon, and right onto it now. With me, my first guest is David Barnes. Hi, Dave.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm all right, you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good, good. And with us, opposite, is Robin Watson, a bass player, musician. Hi, Robin.
Hey Lee, how you doing?
I'm fine. We're going to be talking about music, which we're all in, of course, but also our day jobs. And we're going to be talking about what you're doing. And you've brought with you your friend Daryl Edgar from the company that you work with. We're going to be talking to you in a little while. But Dave, you were with us here at Solihull Radio. I think it was January, February. I can't remember now.
Yeah, around about that time, yeah.
And you've got a massive fan club.
It's growing, shall we say.
It is, definitely. And obviously we know your background. Those of your fans, I'm sure, are listening this afternoon. So we've discussed that in the past, but for those who don't know, briefly, you were on The Voice, you did amazingly on that. New album, second or third album, are you writing
Second
some
album's
stuff?
out now, yeah.
Yep, okay. And you write as well?
I do, yeah.
And you're also really busy right now because you're on tour.
I am on tour, yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
Okay, so I'm on tour with a show called 80s Mania, and that's touring all around the UK in all the major theatres at the moment.
And you get to dress up.
I get to dress up, yes. I dress up like Boy George,
Hey.
Erasure, Wham, all the big artists
So
of
you
the 80s.
get all the
really.
makeup for Boy George.
Yeah, and do you know what? Since I've started doing the show, I never thought that I would be a good makeup artist, but I can do my own makeup now.
Can you now? Oh, wow.
Strangely enough.
So does Robin.
Well, I've heard that actually, yeah.
That's just
God.
on Monday nights.
It is kind of one of those.
So the tour is going really well. You've got
Yeah.
lots of dates coming up. Is that just this year? Does it go on?
No,
next-
it's been going for 10 years as a show. So it's the 10th year anniversary this year.
Okay.
Currently on the summer tour, but it will carry on for years to come, I'm sure.
And what tracks do you sing in the show?
I do Freedom, I'm
Oh,
Your
I love
Man, Wake Me Up Before You Go.
Oh, lots of Wham.
Yeah, three Wham songs to finish the show off, and then we've got Boy George, Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? You know, yeah, there's some huge songs. Erasure, A Little Respect goes down really well every
I love
time.
that too. Are you
Yeah.
finding anything particular challenging for your voice, or do you can just go with anything?
No, okay, so I've never done theatre before, but this was a new challenge, and it took me around about 4 months, I think, to train my voice to sing like somebody else within a minute. So I'll go on stage as Boy George, and then the next minute I'll go on as Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and I've got to change my voice
Yeah,
and my mannerisms as well to make it look authentic, you know?
Yeah, of course.
And it's almost like a brand new training course. I've never done anything like that before. Really difficult, actually, because it's so easy to snap back into your normal,
Yeah, I
you
can
know, your
imagine.
personal stuff, innit, that you
Because
normally
the voice, you're you. You're
Absolutely,
You're just
yeah.
promoting yourself.
do. Yeah.
This is almost like lots of different tribute acts, but all in one night.
Exactly, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got to keep really fit for that as well. Hence
Hence,
the
yeah.
company that we're about to talk to you about in about 3 minutes. So I've got some either UB40, you choose, because you're here for the first hour of the
Okay.
show, Meghan Trainor or the script.
UB40.
UB40, okie dokie.
Cheerio, baby.
Birmingham's own UB40 there with Cherry Oh Baby. Of course, they were the winners of the Lifetime Achievement Award last year at the Birmingham Music Awards, which was brilliant. You're listening to Solihull Radio with you until 6 this evening. If you'd like to get in touch with us today, then you can email. It's studio@solihullradio.com, or you can text us. If you text 82228 and start your text message with the word studio, any music requests or questions that you've got, either for David Barnes or for Robin Watson, then do get in touch this afternoon. So yeah, Dave is with us and we're talking about the day job.
Yeah, day job.
Tell us about it.
Okay, so what was it, 2 weeks ago? I was sat on my sofa, and obviously being a musician, it's a night job, isn't it?
It is, yeah, generally speaking, or travelling back through the night if it's a long distance gig.
Absolutely, yeah, and mostly at weekends really. So from Thursday to Sunday, that's when I would do my job. So I had an idea that I would fill my time elsewhere with trying to get a civilian job somewhere. Mm-hmm. So I sent out some CVs and I got a phone call back from Energy Fitness in Sheldon. And it's something that I've always done, fitness industry anyway, with my previous job. So, I went in for an interview and I got the job. So very quickly they promoted me to manager. So I'm now the fitness manager at Sheldon branch. We've been working hard this week on really trying to do what the public want. So that's my main aim this week. Been trying to ask all the members what they like and what they don't like about it. And we've got some good ideas coming up.
Brilliant. So it's Energy Fitness. Is this a franchise or have they got lots of different branches?
They've got over 100 clubs around the UK and Ireland, yeah. So
Wow.
it's actually quite a big business.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, so is this something that you have been into before? I mean, did you just send out your CV not knowing exactly what you wanted to do? Or is it because of what you do in music that you generally need to keep yourself fit and that kind of interested you?
Okay, so when I was serving in the army, I was a PT instructor anyway.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So from 2009 right up until when I left in 2017, I was a physical training instructor. So it's something that I've always done. And I've also got qualifications in personal training in civilian as well. So yeah, it's something I've always been interested in. Mm-hmm. But I never actually thought I would be doing it once I left my previous job, you see.
No.
But I love it. I think it's a great opportunity to meet people. And I think the difference with this gym, and I don't know if everybody else agrees, but if you've been to a gym before, it can be quite intimidating from time to time.
Yeah.
And, some women find the gym intimidating because if you've got, you really big muscly guys screaming while they're doing weights. And so when I walked into this gym for the first time, the difference with this place is it's so friendly. The customer service is brilliant, and that is the truth. And, the reviews on Facebook state that as well. So it really, really warmed me into the place,
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what it's all about. I mean, I've never been a member of a gym. It can be very expensive as well. That's something we need to talk about. It can, just the word the gym can put people off.
Absolutely,
Lots of different people. Some people are doing it because they just generally want to improve on their fitness or to meet people or for a hobby. Other people could be maybe very overweight to start with. And I've heard very often on television programs, people being interviewed and saying, they need to go to the gym to lose the weight, but they feel intimidated because they don't look right to go to the gym. So that's the wrong kind of message to put out, isn't it, to start with? So you've got to get past that.
Yes. And at our place, there is no egos in this place. I've been there for a week now studying what people do in the gym and how they talk to each other. And we've got walks of life, well, literally every walk of life you think of. We have the elder generation coming in for rehab with nurses from the NHS, so they use our gym for that reason. Okay. Which is, that's a sign that the gym's a really friendly place to be fair. But yeah, in terms of price, I agree. I think I've been in gyms before and I just think, I'm going to be in a contract now for 12 months, paying £30 a month or sometimes £40 a month. Yeah, yeah. We're very different actually. We can control whether it's a contract or not.
Yeah, because I've heard people say they've had to sign a contract, which is very
Yeah.
difficult to get out of as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, people's circumstances change, don't they? Let's
Yeah.
face it, all the time. You can
Yeah.
lose your job or something happens within the family and you become a member and for whatever reason, either you can't then go or you
Yeah.
can't afford it.
That's right. That's right.
You know, it's like me, as you know, I've got the music school and I've done it for 34 years and we still to this day have managed to keep payment monthly.
Yeah.
And not termly and not annually, because
Yeah.
there are people out there that are really struggling.
That's right.
And why turn the money down? And also, it's about helping people at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And in commercial gyms like this, you have thousands of members.
Yeah,
And there's always going to be problems with, if somebody gets an injury and they can't go to the gym anymore, or
of course.
they have to look after a family member if they're ill. There's all sorts of different reasons.
There are, yeah.
So from today onwards, now we're talking about costings, I think it's a good idea to mention that from today, if you mention the code radio19, when you go onto the website, then you can get a deal here with no joining fee, no contract, for $19.99 a month.
Wow.
Now, that is really cheap for what you get in this gym, actually, because the gym offer classes every day, all day. And we're just about to revamp the whole class timetable as well. So we've got some top quality instructors coming in. And what I've been doing this week, really, is going around all the members and asking them what they want and what they don't want, because it's all about your clients. So I've now got a big database of exactly what they want, and we've now structured a timetable for classes, which is brand new, and it's going to start on the 5th of August. And it's pretty much everything that the public want.
And when you ask the questions, what kind of feedback are you getting in general? What people want from the gym?
Well, funnily enough, at 9:15 till 10 o'clock in the morning, we have quite a large group of mums that come in. They've dropped the kids off at school.
Yes.
And they come to the gym for an hour. So I did a class for some ladies the other morning, and after the class finished, I asked them, did you enjoy it? And they said, yeah, we've never done anything like that before, and we also want this, and we also want this. And it just opened the floor, really, for them to say, I want a bit more yoga, for instance, that's what they wanted. So we've managed to do that. And, other people in the gym want different things. So we've managed to make a schedule now where hopefully it should make everybody very happy.
Wonderful. Sounds fantastic. Okay, lots more to talk about the gym in just a few minutes. Let's get some more music on. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch, then you can just drop us an email. It's studio@solihullradio.com. First of all, let's have this track. This is The Pretenders, and Don't Get Me Wrong.
I see neon lights.
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
Solihull Radio.
The Pretenders there, and coming up in the next hour I've got some Status Quo, Robbie Williams and the Rag and Bone Man. But right here in the studio at Touchwood we've got David Barnes. David, musician, singer, songwriter, and currently on tour with 80s Mania show, but he's here to talk about what he does now. He's the manager of a gym, and it's in Sheldon, this particular gym called Energy Fitness. So just talking about what you're doing really to improve everything, make everything what everybody wants, and you've got loads of offers on at the moment, haven't you? And
Yeah. So the main thing here really is a new deal that starts today, and it runs right up until the end of August. And that deal is $19.99 with no joining fee and no contract, which I believe a lot of the public would like.
that's a good offer. And the gym, is it 7 days a week?
Yeah, 7 days a week. Yeah, and it's open from 6 in the morning, right up until 11 at night.
Wow.
Monday to Friday.
Gosh, okay.
And at weekends, 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. So it's actually a lot of hours there.
It is a lot of hours.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the new deal you can get if you go onto our Facebook page, which is Energy Fitness Sheldon, and equally onto the website as well, which is www.energyfitness.com/Sheldon.
So you've talked about things like yoga groups you've got going and various classes you've got. Do you also do personal training there, one-to-one, if people want that, for specific reasons that they don't necessarily want to be in a group?
Yeah, we do. We have 4 or 5 personal trainers on site, and they work different hours during the week. And yeah, so that's a one-on-one chance for you to get specific goals.
Yeah.
If you want to meet a specific goal, then we do have that facility in place. But when you go to different gyms, there's always different things that happen. And like I said to you before, the atmosphere in this gym is really friendly. That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
But we have things like spin classes. And in those spin classes is disco lights going off everywhere. And it's exercise to music, basically. And it's a really good way of exercising without realising you're working that hard. Because of everything else going around you. So... if you like group exercises, and equally if you don't like doing something on your own, then these classes are great to join in with. So yeah, I think this deal's a really good deal at the moment, and specifically if you're not joined into a contract.
Yeah, that's the best thing, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And for $19.99 for what you get, it's an extremely good price.
And for that price, there's no limit, so that people could come every day. They could change what classes they do. That you can kind of mix and match. Yeah.
So this deal, you can come at any time, as long as the gym's open. Obviously, you can come whenever you want, as many times as you want throughout the whole month.
Fantastic.
We do have 2 other memberships. We've got one called Classic Membership, and after this period's finished here. So at the end of August, we will then go back to the Classic membership, which is £24.99 a month, and you get, but that you'll get a joining fee and you will get a contract. And then the WOW membership, which allows you to use any of the Energy Fitness gyms across the UK, and that's £28.99. Mm-hmm. So right now, the best deal within Energy is the deal that we're giving today, but you must use the code Radio19 to get that.
Radio19, and the website again was?
Okay, so it's energyfitness.com/Sheldon.
Thank you. Robin, you've joined us today. We're going to be talking to you in a few minutes about the company that you work with. And you asked to come in about this particular company, and you think that this might link in well with what we're talking about with David today. What's your fitness kind of regime? Do you have one? I know you like chocolate muffins.
Oh, right. Well, that's just blowing everything out of the water, what I was about to say.
Chocolate and raspberry, white chocolate and raspberry muffins. Okay, so what do you then do to get rid of that?
Okay, swiftly moving on. I actually do go to a gym.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. Don't sound so surprised.
No, just
you
saying.
do look like you go to a gym, I have to say.
Dave, thank you very much.
No problem.
Oh, you creep.
Oh, I know.
You creep.
So, I do go to the gym when I kind of try to keep it to sort of, at least once a week, but average it about twice. And of course, as you would know, Dave, it's also about how you eat as well. So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, you can have your good days, just so long as the good days don't turn into, like, you know, good weeks and good months. And
That's
you
true.
know,
That's right,
That's
yeah.
true. I was
Yeah,
going to
that's
ask
the
about
issue,
that. That was actually going to be my next question. Is there anything to do with at the gym? Do you do any kind of courses on the food element or the nutrition or?
So our level 3 personal trainers also have nutrition as well, so they can advise you. When you first join, on your first day, we do a thing called a kickstart.
Mm-hmm.
And on that kickstart, it's like an induction.
Yeah.
And if that person's got any specific weight loss goals, then we can talk about diet, and we can talk about, providing that personal trainer's qualified in it, but we do have those people, yes.
Sure. And also, obviously, particularly the last few years, there's been an awful lot of raising awareness for mental health.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, fitness and just taking part in these kind of classes is massively good.
Yes, because, yeah, I mean, I'm a patron of a mental health.
Yeah, of course. We talked about it at the last show.
Yeah, so the Holly Clancy
Yeah,
Foundation
yeah.
down in Essex. So,
That's it.
but yeah, you know, I think if you exercise your endorphins properly in a certain way, then yeah, it does help mental health for sure. Yeah, it can certainly help it to, you know, to park it from getting too bad, you know.
Yeah,
And it's a massive thing in the UK right now, isn't it? Let's face it.
It is. It is.
But yeah, so yeah,
especially amongst men, would that be fair to say, in terms of the whole mental health thing and
yeah,
well-being? Yeah, there's a lot of focus on that, so I guess that ties into.
yeah, absolutely. And there's, you know, you hear new stories every day, and there's some members in our gym that's had you know, mental health problems as well. But what you do see when they're actually doing the exercise and they're in the gym in a good atmosphere, you would never know, because they're so happy at that point, you know. So that, as far as I'm concerned, the gym has done its job for that person right there.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, you know, we can all do a bit more, I think, for mental health.
Definitely. Definitely. So what's your aim as manager for this particular gym?
So I just want to really please the public, you know. And like I said before, it's all about pleasing your clients, and the members are really important to us. Growing the members is important, and you know, for that reason, we've put a thing called a refer a friend scheme. We've got several ways we do it. We can have a free day pass, which you can download off the website. We've got a free 5-day pass as well, which we're talking about shortly. But you know, if you refer a friend, then we've got some tickets to Drayton Manor. We've got 4 tickets to Drayton Manor to win. So there's a possibility of winning something like that. And there's things like this running all the time. So yeah, it's all about building a really good client base, I think, and making everybody happy.
Wonderful.
Changing lives, shall we say.
Yeah, that's right. That's fantastic. So this is Energy Fitness. Everybody, we will give you the address again, the web address, in just a few minutes. Let's just get a bit more music. Had an email come through from Emily Villaro. Says, hi, I'm listening. Actually, she's in the US. I'm not quite sure whereabouts you are, Emily. You have to let us know. But wherever you are, you say it's 40 degrees Celsius outside right now.
Probably Vegas then,
oh my
maybe.
Goodness, maybe Vegas. It's hotting up here, I believe. I think we're getting up into the 30s tomorrow. So, gosh, let us know where you are, Emily. Glad you've joined us again this afternoon. Thank you for listening in. Let's have some Rag and Bone Man, and then we'll be going back to David just to finish off the interview today about the gym, Energy Fitness, and then coming to Robin Watson in a few minutes.
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this and see what's behind. Got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying. But I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Take a look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see it clearer, or are you deceived in what you believe? 'Cause I'm only human after all, and you're only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Some people got the real problems. Some people lie. That's my opinion, don't ask me to lie. And beg for forgiveness for making you cry. For making you cry. 'Cause I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Oh, some people got the real problem. Some people out of love. Some people think I can solve them. Lord heavens above. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. I'm only human. I make mistakes. I'm only human. It's all it takes to put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. 'Cause I'm no prophet or Messiah. You should go looking somewhere high. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. I'm only human. I do what I can. I'm just a man. I do what I can. Don't put the blame on me. Don't put your blame on me.
Solihull Radio.
Yes, you are listening to Solihull Radio, and we are live from Studio 148 here at Touchwood with you until 6 o'clock. Got some fabulous music coming up. And with me in the studio live this afternoon is David Barnes, just talking about Energy Fitness, which is over in Sheldon. David, wrapping up on that, can you just give out the website one more time? There's a great deal at the moment that people can just look up.
Yeah, okay, so the website is www.energyfitness.com/Sheldon, and on there you can join with the new code Radio19 for $19.99 with no contract and no joining fee, and it's a great deal, I have to say. That will be running right up until the end of August. Exciting things coming for the members currently. Brand new class timetable starts on the 5th of August, and that's everything that you've asked for, so that's a good thing as well. We've got a newsletter starting every month, at the start of every month, so we're going to do some success stories for people that have made a massive difference with
Great idea.
with their own goals, and
Sure.
we're going to feature that and some maybe competitions and things like that in the newsletter every month. And I think the good thing is, if you want to try this gym before you buy it, then we do free day passes, and you can also download that from the website as well.
Wonderful, that's great. Talking about your other job,
Yeah.
your tour at the moment with 80s Mania, is it coming to the Midlands? Is there anything in Brum?
Yeah, well, we're coming to Tewkesbury and Wolverhampton, and that's coming up shortly. But you can get all the dates of the whole tour from our Facebook page, 80s Mania Show.
80s Mania Show. And you've got, obviously, your own website as well, because your album's out, so people can get your music.
Yes. So you can download straight to your device from my website, and that is davidbarnesentertainment.com. It's also on iTunes and Spotify and Google and Amazon and all that stuff.
Brilliant. Are you still writing?
Yeah, we're writing. There's some very exciting stuff coming up later this year, a brand new album, and it's all original material.
Wow.
With some very, very special guests, shall we say.
Oh, exciting.
Yes.
Okay, that's brilliant. So you have to come back in.
I would love to.
Yeah, and we could do something live, actually, couldn't we?
Oh, yeah, let's do an acoustic session.
Let's do that. Okay, so thanks ever so much. I know you've got to get back to work.
I have, yes. Never stops.
You're going to be overdoing it. You've got to be careful. Good luck with all of that then, David. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me on.
We will see you soon. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks so much.
Okay, so can't beat a bit of Stevie. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Like a fool, I went and stayed too long. I'm wondering if your love's still strong. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Then that time I
Perry on Solihull Radio.
Solihull Radio.
Because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, bass. Yeah, it's pretty clear. I ain't no size 2, but I can shake it like I'm supposed to do. 'Cause I got that boom boom that all the boys chase. All the right junk in all the right places. I see the magazine working out Photoshop. We know that shit ain't real. Come on now, make it stop. If you got beauty, just raise them up. 'Cause every inch of you is perfect from the bottom to the top. Yeah, my mama, she told me don't worry about your size. She says boys like a little more booty to hold at night. And no, I won't be no stick figure silicone Barbie doll. So if that's what you're into, then go ahead and move along. Because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass. Hey, I'm bringing booty back. Go ahead and tell them skinny bitches that. No, I'm just playing. I know y'all think you're fat, but I'm here to tell you every inch of you is perfect from the bottom to the top. Yeah, my mama, she told me don't worry about your size. She says boys like a little more booty to hold at night. And no, I won't be no stick figure silicone Barbie doll. So if that's what you're into, then go ahead and move along. Because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass,
Solihull Radio.
Just before my next guest coming up in a few minutes is Robin Watson, but first of all let's have some status quo. And this is Caroline. my gosh, that took me by surprise. That was a very quick fade out. I think there must be different versions of that, Robin. Oh my gosh. That was a quick reaction. Did you see that? No, you didn't, did you?
Oh.
You were looking at your phone. All right, so you listen to Solihull Radio. We're with you until 6 o'clock. We've still got, coming up in the next hour, we've got some Norah Jones, the Supremes, the Script. And if you've got any requests, then you can get in touch with us. Just email studio@solihullradio.com, or you can text 82228. Start your text with the word studio and you'll get straight through to us. Thank you for joining us. And with me right now, we've got Robin Watson, who's been with me for a while. And he's been in the show before, obviously a musician, that's how we met, a bass player. And he's brought with him Daryl Edgar. Welcome, Daryl.
Thank you, hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. And you're actually here, Robin, to talk about, well, you contacted me about this company, which I didn't know much about. I've now looked into, and it's really exciting, really different, very, very interesting. It's called The Plume. So, who's first? Robin, do you want to just give us a bit of background as to what it's all about?
Well, actually, I think it would be great if Daryl went first as the inventor and the creator of the product. So,
perfect.
Over to you, Daryl.
Okay, I've never been described as an inventor before. But, basically, when I was sitting one Sunday afternoon in a day like today, nice and sunny with a glass of cider, I had been to a funeral during that week. And I was reminiscing and went back to my youth, back in the 50s, when I used to sit outside the house and watch the funerals go by, mainly because of the horses. There were big, powerful horses pulling a hearse, and their heads were decorated with what seemed like enormous ostrich feathers. And I started to think about the funerals that I'd been to recently and realised that there was no longer any kind of presence to a funeral procession. And I suddenly just thought, well, what if we made people aware of which cars were part of a funeral procession? And I imagined the idea of those feathers on the horse, but also on the cars following, so that the locals, people or the road users would know that they're doing something special, and they're not just driving slowly because they're being awkward, and everybody can see when to give way, where to stop and let people through.
Yeah, absolutely, because we were talking off air actually, and I hadn't even given this a thought until we've spoken about the plume. But obviously you see a hearse and you slow down, or you don't want to overtake, and it can be difficult, it can be quite awkward anyway. If you're coming to an island or a junction, you don't quite know what to do. But you don't know how many of those cars that are following are connected to the funeral or not. So this is a brilliant idea and a really different way of showing that, Robin.
Yes, certainly. It's one that when Darren asked to come on board, I thought, okay, this is different. But then as you start to explore it and you start to look at it, you realise that actually every single funeral director, and I will go as far to say in the world, probably has at least one horror story of where their procession has been interrupted by someone actually cutting in. There's been accidents and all sorts.
Really?
Yeah. And what this does is that it gives a clear indicator, because when people see it and they see the plumes and they see the line of cars, they think, okay, they're together, and people actually wait, because no one wants to be that person that actually cuts in the middle and then you're stuck in the middle.
No, it can be very awkward.
Yeah.
Like, you don't quite know what to do. And the only thing that is really obvious, apart from the hearse, obviously, very often, because obviously I'm based in Knoll, which with my business, which is quite local, I see an awful lot of the horse-drawn carriages, and obviously you're then completely aware, but there could be 2 cars, there could be a dozen cars for all you know. And that's a really, really good idea. So the plume, the name, the whole idea, tell us a little bit about that and where you got that from.
Well, the idea really was to try and copy the feathers. So research showed that the idea of having ostrich feathers on a funeral procession, or on the hearse and the horses that were pulling it, dates back to pre-Victorian times, when ostrich feathers were worth more than their weight in gold. and the more feathers that you had, obviously the more wealthy and the more affluent lifestyle the person who had gone had lived. And so I thought, well, if we can match that on the cars that are following, we're telling people who's having a funeral, and it gives the family a choice of being able to show that they're part of that hearse that they've seen go past. The other issue that I noticed was that there's an awful lot of big black cars around nowadays, and
There are, yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
you don't know whether it's a hearse or not.
No, of course you don't. Yeah, it's really interesting. Lots more to talk about actually on this subject. Let's just get some more music on. First of all, do get in touch with us if you've got any questions or music requests. Just email studio@solihullradio.com. Okay, let's have some Eagles. And this is New Kid in Town.
There's talk on the street, it sounds so familiar. Great expectations, everybody's watching you. People you meet, they all seem to know you. Even your old friends treat you like you're something new. Johnny come lately, the new kid in town. Everybody loves you, so don't let them down. You look in her eyes, the music begins to play. Hopeless romantics, here we go again. But after a while, you're looking the other way. It's those restless hearts that never mend. Johnny come lately, the new kid in town. Will she still love you when you're not around?
You're listening to Solihull Radio, and we're live until 6 this evening from Studio 148 here at Touchwood. And with me in the studio is Robin Watson and Daryl Edgar from Birmingham-based company The Plume. And we're just talking about your initial idea and how you came about the idea, Daryl. I mean, do you think that these days people's attitudes are changing very, very much towards funerals?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, well, first of all, there's something like about 600,000 funerals that take place a year in the UK alone, which is serviced by about 4,000 to 4,500 funeral directors. So that's quite a lot.
It is a lot.
And I think what you'll find is that people are moving from the sort of moving away from that to celebrating how the person lived. And the impact they made, what their legacy is. Yeah. And there's numerous ways that people are actually doing this. And I must say, when we first got involved with the Plume, we thought, right, okay, keep the traffic together, get the respect back of funerals. But then what we quickly found was that the public was actually becoming quite creative then in terms of how they'd want to celebrate it. So, for example, we were asked to do one for a Batman-themed funeral.
What?
Yeah, in black and yellow.
Golly.
There was a Chanel themed funeral. There was one a little bit sad for a 7-month-old child that had passed, but that was in pink. But the key thing here in all of these was that the connection and the emotion that people go through, because we all deal with this differently. I know certainly when my first sister passed about 20 plus years ago, I was very much stuck in the mode of, I want to be miserable, I want to mourn. And I remember everyone else was like, you want to celebrate her life, and no, didn't want a bar of it. Fast forward now to when my other sister passed in 2014, it was a totally different thing. The theme was yellow because that was their favorite color, and it was people are now coming away from funerals feeling slightly uplifted, and just in that moment, the family, they feel a connect. And so with the Plumes, when they've got them on the cards in the various colours, everybody then feels inclusive and part of that celebration, which is great.
Yeah. I mean, the colours, the one thing we were talking about earlier, Daryl, off air, football teams and all sorts, you don't even consider the colours, but they can mean so many different things.
Yes, we have had a number of funeral requests for different coloured feathers, blue and white for Birmingham City. We've done Aston Villa colours. We've done Leeds United colours. As Robbie said, we did a Batman-themed funeral. We can do 145 different colours or any combination of those. And it's rather like the themes of a wedding. Everything is themed to the colour of the bridesmaids' dresses, etc.
Yeah, of course.
We do this to the feelings and the memory of the person that's passed.
Yeah, so just to add with regards to the colour, so say for example you've got a lifelong Villa nut that we both know, Lisa Smith, for example.
Oh yes, yes.
If she wanted to have that, so to speak. Oh, by the way, Lisa, I'm not trying to put in the grave. I'm just using that as an example. But
Villa.
But you can imagine that then someone who supported Villa all their life, right through to their 70s, 80s, and whatever, that again as a theme would continue. So again, it adds to the feeling of the day. Oh, Mr. Smith, was a Villa supporter, and that's typical of him. So there's a connect that people will feel inside. In regards to that.
Yeah, and if anyone's listening and you don't quite get what we're talking about, what's the website? Because you showed me the photographs and it makes it all clear then.
Absolutely.
The cars with the purple plumes on the front of each car. Do you know the website?
Yeah,
Just give out.
The website, brace yourself, people. The website is the-plume.co.uk. And if you want to see us on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook, and we've all, and it's fairly new, so it's still growing, but on the YouTube site you can actually see some of the plumes in action. Mm-hmm. So it's Celebrate a Life with the Plume. So that's Celebrate a Life with the Plume, and that's for the Instagram, YouTube and Facebook.
Perfect. Coming back to talk a bit more about this subject in a minute, let's have the script this afternoon, and this is Rain.
Woke up this morning, can't shake the thunder from last night. You left with no warning and took the summer from my life. I gave you my everything, now my world it don't seem right. Can we just go back to being us again? Cause when I'm sitting in the bar, all the lovers with umbrellas always pass me by. It's like I'm living in the dark and my heart's turned cold since you left my life. And no matter where I go, girl, I know if I'm alone, there ain't no blue sky. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Cause baby, when you're gone, all it does is rain, rain, rain down on me. Each drop is pain, pain, pain. When you leave, it's such a shame. We messed it up, you and me. Cause baby, when you're gone, all it does is rain. And it feels like shelter here in the arms of someone new. But I'd rather be there under the covers just with you. Oh, cause you were my everything. Now I don't know what to do. Oh, I'm caught up in the storm. Cause baby, when you're gone, all it does is rain, rain, rain down on me. Each drop is pain, pain, pain. When you leave, it's such a shame. We messed it up, you and me. Cause baby, when you're gone, all it does is rain. And it feels like and it feels like cause baby, when you're gone, all it does is rain. Cause when I'm sitting in the bar, all the lovers with umbrellas always pass me by. It's like I'm living in the dark and my heart's turned cold since you left my life. And no matter where I go, I know if I'm alone, there be no blue sky. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Baby, when you're gone, all it does is rain, rain, rain down on me. Each drop is pain, pain, pain. When you leave, it's such a shame. We messed it up, you and me. Cause baby, when you're gone, all it does is rain. And it feels like
That was the Supremes and You Can't Hurry Love. You listen to Solihull Radio. I'm Leigh Perry. This is the Arts and Entertainment Show, and I'll be with you until 6 this evening. With me is Robin and Daryl here from The Plume. And we're just talking about how people's attitudes are changing, have changed over the years to funerals in general, and how it's more, celebrating somebody's life and all the various things that you can do out of respect and also to help with, the cars and everything else. And we're talking about The Plume, this fantastic idea. How can people, the basic thing is, Robin, how can people actually go about getting these plumes and finding out more about them?
Right, okay, well, we actually look to work closely with, the funeral directors up and down the country because, we recognise and respect the fact that, they are the cornerstone of the community and have been so for years. So we partner with them and they actually supply them. So, for example, Goodrich Milford in Birmingham, they're one of the first, they were the first in the UK to actually take them on board and have been a partner of ours, and we supply them and then they supply the families. Okay.
And Daryl, you were telling us it was your idea and you were just sort of, it just came to you on a day like today. It's a fantastic idea. Have you had to have a patent? And how did you initially go about getting all this started?
When I first came up with the idea, I decided that it was unique. So I paid to have a full search of worldwide patents, and that came back that there was actually nothing like this being provided anywhere in the world. There were some people provided funeral flags, but that really didn't look very tasteful, and they were in black, basically.
Because it amazes me that this day and age, you come up with an idea that nobody else has come up with. It just seems...
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise to me. And now, obviously, the design has been registered because we have to try and protect it because it's going to be a thing of the future, something that everybody wants.
Yeah, brilliant. Robin, what's the information that if people want to look you up, a phone number, it's The Plume, Facebook page?
Yeah, again, come back to that. The web address is the-plume.co.uk. I'll say that again, the-plume.co.uk. And the handles for Facebook, Instagram and YouTube, they're all the same. Yeah,
okay.
It's all Celebrate a Life with The Plume. So
Brilliant.
that's Celebrate a Life with The Plume for YouTube, Facebook and Instagram. And the telephone number is 0121 456 1722.
Brilliant. And there's so much choice. So you can go with, whoever the loved one that you've lost, their favourite colour, their favourite football team, all sorts of things, really.
Yes, certainly. And like I said before, I think just coming back to the funeral directors, they do a great job up and down the country for the communities that they serve. And we work with them and in support of the great service that they offer to their families. Because it's one thing, being in the industry, you get to understand it's all about the families. It's all about the families and their choice.
Yes, I'm sure. A great friend of ours passed away in January, the wonderful James Renford, who we've worked with, saxophone player. And, I've been to, as we all have, many, many funerals over the years. I've never been to a funeral like James's. And it was almost like a concert.
Exactly.
Musicians on stage. I think I cried and I laughed within that, that couple of hours. There were people performing, there was a rapper, there were people playing drums, African drums, as people came in, and then bringing the coffin in. It was just, I cried and I laughed, which is good. It's what it's all about, really, Daryl, isn't it?
It is, yeah. The celebration, it isn't a new thing to celebrate people's lives. At the funeral, obviously, in the United States of America, they do it in New Orleans, they're particularly. But it's interesting to note that the plumes were used on Abraham Lincoln's hearse. He had 8 plumes on his hearse, 4 corners and then down the sides. So it's been around for a long time, but we seem to have lost it.
Just one quick point to add there, coming back to James's funeral, for
Yeah,
example, and
yeah.
that being the great celebration that it was. Recently, there was a survey conducted, by a leading agency, and I think they surveyed something like 15,000 people up and down the country. And of that, 54% said that they actually wanted their funeral to be a celebration of life.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
so that's huge, and that's growing all the time. And then on top of that, a lot of them said that they wanted it to be a theme, a colour, or what have you. So, it is changing. It is changing.
Yeah, it is. Okay, coming back to you in a few minutes. Let's have some Robbie Williams, and this is No Regrets.
Tell me a story where we all change and we live our lives together. Another strange. I didn't lose my mind, it was my answer giveaway. Couldn't stay to watch me cry, you didn't have the time, so I softly slip away. No regrets, they don't work. No regrets now, they only hurt. Sing me a love song, drop me a line. Suppose it's just a point of view, but they tell me I'm doing fine. I know from the outside we look good for each other. Felt things were going wrong when you didn't like my mother. I don't want to hate, but that's all you've left me with. A bitter aftertaste and a fantasy of how we all could live. No regrets, they don't work. No regrets now, they only hurt. I know they're still talking, demons in your head. If I could just stop hating you, I feel sorry for us instead. Remember the photographs insane, the one where we all laughed so lame. We were having the time of our lives. Well, thank you, it was a real blast. Write me a love song, drop me a line. Suppose it's just a point of view, but they tell me I'm doing fine. Everything I wanted to be, every time I walked away, every time you told me leave, I just wanted to stay. Every time you looked at me, and every time you smiled, I felt so vacant. You treat me like a child.
the one and only Prince now, and this is Kiss.
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
Solihull Radio.
Yes, you listen to Solihull Radio. I'm Leigh Perry, and we're into the last half an hour of today's show. Thank you for joining us. Still got some Queen and Marvin Gaye to come in the next half an hour. With me is Robin and Daryl, when we're talking about the company The Plume and how you can customise and make the celebration really, really special. Robin, you work, as you say, very, very closely, organising the whole thing, and tell us a bit more about how that works.
In the way that works, people can contact us direct, so you can get us at the web, the-plume.co.uk, or the telephone number,
Well done.
0121 456 1722. And we'll point them in the direction of any of the funeral directors that we're currently working with. Now, that's growing all the time, nationwide, literally. We're up as far as Leeds at the moment, and as far down as Harlow and Kent, and a few more in between. And then we'll put them in touch with the funeral directors. Now, if the funeral director doesn't currently work with us, then that's an opportunity for us to work with them But again, and I can't stress this enough because I've had it drummed into me by the industry, it's about the families first. So it's their choice. What are they looking to do? And then we work alongside the funeral directors to serve those families. So it really is about the partnership with the funeral directors.
Great. But the initial idea, going back to the initial idea, it was about the fact that you, it makes it more recognisable, the actual procession, the amount of cars that are there, as part of the funeral entourage, if you like.
Yeah, we the people who are driving and sharing the roads with the funeral procession need to know which cars are there, and the general public. We have it on video, and I've experienced it myself. As the cortege and the procession go past, workmen down tools and show respect. People stop in the street now and watch as the funeral goes by. They don't just stand and wait for the hearse to go past and then try and cross the road because the cars are all going slowly. So, and it's great for the families as well because they can see the effect it's having on people, that other people are joining them in their celebration.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. A couple more pieces of music to get through. And also I've got some what's on in the area, Solihull. Of course, it's the Jazz Festival today. And when I arrived today, some fantastic musicians playing out there in Mel Square, I have to say. There was other events upcoming, so I'll be telling you about those in just a few minutes. But first of all, let's have I Heard It Through the Grapevine.
With some of the guys
UB40 there, featuring Ali and Astro with Ebony Eyes. Absolutely love that track. So got just a couple of what's-ons because we're running out of time today. A couple of what's-ons in the next few weeks round and about the Solihull area. Of course, this is the one not to be missed. Next weekend is the big one. 27th and 28th of July is the Solihull Summer Festival. Next weekend. Get your tickets now. An amazing lineup this time, especially. And Level 42 are going to be there among many other fantastic names. We've also got, though, the 23rd of July, Annie is on at the Hippodrome in Birmingham. That should be really, really good, especially now that the kids are broken up from school. 26th of July, Tudor Grange Park is Mamma Mia ABBA Tribute. That's next weekend, Solihull Summer Festival, 27th and 28th of July. The 26th, Tudor Grange Park, we've got Mamma Mia ABBA Tribute, and a bit before that, the 23rd, is Annie at the Birmingham Hippodrome. So with me is Robin and Daryl here in the studio talking about the Birmingham-based company, The Plume. Robin, you just had a few more things that you wanted to say about that.
Yeah, just with regards to the funeral directors and working with them, we've actually had some funeral directors come on board and they've actually started to get creative. So they have the Plume in their corporate colours. So the company down in Kent, they've had them in the blue and silver. And now, they've already been ringing me back. They've had it about a week and they've already been calling back saying, it's having a great impact. And just with regards to the whole colour things as well, we've done some for Sikh funerals. We've done some for a Jamaican funeral in terms of Jamaican flag. And we've got one in the pipeline for the Irish in terms of Celtic colours. So, that's great. Brilliant.
And you say it's also expanded into Scotland.
Yes, we have. Yes, I missed that out earlier. East Lothian, but I was gently reminded of that. So yes, East Lothian. Now we're up there. So it really is developing quite quickly.
Daryl, so how do the Plumes? We're used to seeing them on the horses and the carriages, but obviously on a car, it's a whole different scenario.
Yeah, if you can picture, if you haven't been on the website to have a look yet, just to try and draw a picture for you. If you can imagine a vase, like a funeral urn, with 7 or 8 large plume feathers from ostriches fastened into it, and then that whole device fits onto the roof of your car. It is either fixed by magnet if you have a car that has a steel roof. It's a very, very strong magnet. We tested them up to 40 miles an hour without any problems. And the magnet is rubber, and it also has a thin cloth that goes underneath, a velvet cloth that goes between the car and the magnet, just to make sure as much protection to the car paintwork as possible. Or it can be by means of a silicone cups sticker, like a suction cup. That again is very strong. We've tested them up to 40 miles an hour and beyond on my motorbike, believe it or not. And there's no, they don't mark the cars at all. And if you can imagine, the whole thing stands round about 60 centimetres, that's 2 feet from the roof of the car. So it's very, very visible.
Yeah, and they really do stand out. And just coming back to the bit on the car, because when we did our research initially, we worked quite closely with funeral directors.
Yeah.
And they flagged up and said, well, look, how about the cars? They were concerned about that, which is fine. But we've not had one single complaint because we did take the time to research it properly to make sure that protection first, and it's great, and it works really, really well.
Yeah, fantastic.
People often do ask, well, what happens if they come off the car? And the first answer is, well, they don't, but we've tested them coming off or throwing them out of the car, and they work like a shuttlecock. The feathers slow it down and they come down very quickly, so they're not going to hit anything at high speed. So they're being fully tested, and everything is made from natural products. There's nothing that isn't recyclable.
Yeah. But of course we don't get to that because they stay on the car.
Of course they do. Of course they do. Gosh, right, we're running out of time. We will come back to you in just a minute for the final few words about the Plume. Let's have a bit more music. I've got about 4 tracks to get in the rest of the show.
I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lined in chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta low. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Been spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. We've been spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of the night living in the gangster's paradise. Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the state, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Got my tin in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm a loped out gangster, set tripping banker, and my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger. Fool, death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life, do or die. What can I say? I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24? The way things is going, I don't know. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Power and the money, money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour, everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking what's going on in the kitchen. But I don't know what's cooking. They say I got to learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand it, how can they reach me? I guess they can't, I guess they won't, I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck, fool. Been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me?
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.
Solihull Radio.
Coolio there and Gangster's Paradise. 10 minutes left of today's show, and just a final few words to Robin and Daryl here in the studio from the company The Plume. Robin.
Right, okay, well, I think it'd be quite point to end with two testimonials. So the first one, and it's a very short one, is from an actual family member that I actually used it for a funeral, and they said, I used the Plume because I wanted to add small personal touches to a family funeral that made a big difference. On the day, the Plumes added an extra touch and more, and we all felt part of the occasion. Which I think that says it all.
Yeah, says it all. Fantastic.
And then the other one is from a funeral director. Again, coming back to the whole partnership thing.
Yeah.
And these are our friends over at Goodrich Milford Funeral Directors, and they simply said, the Plume has been a great addition to our product range, and families have found that it adds a unique and emotionally connective touch to their day. So I think, again, coming back to that whole connected thing of
Yeah.
feeling part and inclusive.
Yeah.
So we'd love to hear from you. If you're a funeral director and you want to find out more about it, how we can partner and work with you to support you in what you do, please do get in touch. And if you're a family and you've got a funeral coming up, hopefully you won't need us too soon, but, you know, these things do happen. If
Yeah.
you do, please give us a call. You know, we'd love to hear from you, and, you know, we'd love to work with you.
Fantastic. And Daryl, anything finally this afternoon?
Yes, it was an idea that I had made a long time ago, and I saw a funeral recently where we used them with the Jamaican flags and the Jamaican flag colours, and I was really quite touched to see that it had come into operation.
Wonderful, wonderful. And just talking off air, Robin's waving at me. I think he wants to come back on the mic. That's fine. Just talking off air. So actually the plumes, the feathers come from South Africa.
Yes,
Wow, didn't realise.
South Africa has one of the biggest industries of ostrich farms, and we get the feathers imported by a Birmingham company direct to us. And being of South African birth myself, I feel as if I'm doing a little bit for my own country.
Oh, I
as
didn't
well as
realise
for
that.
my-
You don't have the accent, Daryl.
No, I've lived in, believe it or not, I've lived in Birmingham since 1976.
Oh,
so
you don't have that accent
no,
either.
No, you wouldn't think it, would you?
You wouldn't. Robin, you're waving at me. You want a chocolate muffin?
Oh, wow. You really are sticking the boot tonight. Okay, well, I just wanted to remind you in terms of how you can get in touch with us. So the telephone number is 0121 456 1722. Our web address is the-plume.co.uk. And this next one is easy. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. It's all Celebrate a Life with the Plume. We're looking to grow our community. We're looking to grow our social media. So help us on this. Do get in touch. Do log on. Do start following us on Facebook and YouTube, and you will see a lot more.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you both for joining me today on Solihull Radio. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and good luck with the plume. Thank you.
Thank you, and you.
Like a flower waiting to bloom, like a light bulb in a dark room. I'm just sitting here waiting for you to come on home and turn me on. Like the desert, waiting for the rain, like a school kid, waiting for the spring. I'm just sitting here, waiting for you to come on home and turn me on. My poor heart, it's been so dark since you've been gone. After all, you're the one who turns me off, but you're the only one who can turn me back on. My hi-fi's waiting for a new tune. My glass is waiting for some fresh ice cubes. I'm just sitting here waiting for you to come on home and turn me on. Turn me on.
Norah Jones and Turn Me On. Well, that's nearly the end of the show. Gosh, doesn't time fly when you're having a good time? Thank you for joining me today. Do stay with Solihull Radio. We are on every day. Listen to the other presenters and get involved. You can email us at studio@solihullradio.com. I've got a fantastic show lined up next Sunday with a very special guest. Really excited. Richard Strange, the amazing Richard Strange, is going to be joining me for a co-host. He'll be here for the whole 2 hours. We're going to be playing his new track that was released yesterday. I was going to do that today, but I'm holding back for next week, and he's got some fascinating stories for you. So do tune in next Sunday afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and the upcoming week, which I believe is going to be extremely hot. Have a great week. Stay well, and I'm finishing off with this Queen track. Thank you.
I've paid my dues time after time. I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. And bad mistakes, I've made a few. I've had my shots and kicks in my face, but I've come through. I need to go on. We are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world. I've taken my bows and my curtain calls. You brought me fame and fortune and everything that goes with it. I thank you all, but it's been no bed of roses, no pleasure cruise. I consider it a challenge before the whole human race, and I ain't gonna lose. We are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world. The champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions.
Leigh Perry on Solihull Radio.